Going on, guys? So tonight we're going to talk about sharpening the Tangram Vector. It is a recurve, so we're going to do a couple things to make it a little bit easier to sharpen it. I am going to go over real quick just how I'm going to do this. So this is a Sharpen 320 that I cut from my big 8x3 stone. It was a Sharpen Pro 320 Hanu Kodamaku. I cut a 1/2 inch piece and basically made like my own mini, like the recurve type stone. But I am going to do something a little different that I've never seen anyone do with these stones. Most people flatten their stones. I'm actually going to convex this stone, and I'm going to show you a trick with your regular 8x3s, or even like a 6x2 you could do it with. So like your 6-inch king stones, you could do it with. Any stone that's basically at least a 1/2 inch in thickness, it should work. So I'm going to show you. I'm just going to like demonstrate how I'm going to do it. I'm not going to bring you along the whole thing because it's going to take me a while to do it. I have to do it under the sink, and it's a little bit of a mess, so I won't show you everything, but maybe I'll just like show how I do this one real quick. So basically I'm just going to take my Tomo 140. This is a probably like a 50% worn, so it still has a little, some life to it. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to knock the corners off. And I am going to do this under running water. I'm just showing you real quick. So now the corner's 45'd on one side. I think you could see that there, right here. So that's chamfered now. Basically, I'm going to do that on all 4 corners. I'm going to go to the sink and start making my way through it, and I'll bring you guys back when I'm done. So there you should be able to see sort of what it looks like. Without sounding too morbid, it basically looks like the shape of a casket. So if you think about what a casket looks like, that's the shape we're going for. Just a rounded surface, and then the sides are flat, and that's basically what we want to shoot for. Hopefully you guys could see that. What got me thinking about this last night was I was thinking about just sharpening on the corner of one of my sharpening stones. So just on one of these flat corners. Okay. While I was lapping it, I don't know if you can see this here, I took a big gouge out of the stone. I hit it on my granite countertop and chipped the corner off, and then I had to round it over because it broke off in like a shard, so it left like sharp pieces, so I had to chamfer this over. So it got me thinking, what if I chamfered this whole width here and made basically like a slipstone where I had a rounded a rounded profile on the width. And I remembered that I had this 1x6 that I had cut basically made my own Edge Pro stone out of one of my 8x3s and figured, well, if I just apply that same, apply the same thinking to this 8x3, would it work? And I think it would, because this is still going to be flat. I think it's honestly worth it, because as long as the stone sits in the holder lengthwise like this, the side doesn't really matter, what shape it is. Alright guys, I'm gonna go do this, and I'll bring you back when this is done, and we'll go from there. So that took me probably about 40 minutes maybe. The 5,000 grit was a bear. It was tough to get a really even convex. That's what took the time. I don't know if you can see, there's like a dark line right in the middle. So you can see that the green here is darker than it is here. And the reason for that is, as you use these stones, you get steel particles, and that's basically the darker green in the middle is the guide that I used. So I knew, like, I could watch as I was taking the diamond plate to it and moving it back and forth. I could see, the fresh particle from the stone, and I was able to use that line as my guideline. So you want that to be the high spot right in the middle. So I would suggest like taking pencil and squiggling pencil on it, and then taking the pencil off on the sides, and then slowly rounding it over. But just take your time. Now that I think about it, it's probably closer to a half hour, probably not quite 45 minutes, but that 5,000 grit was about half the time. So I got the 500 and the 2,000 done in the same amount of time as the 5,000, if not maybe even less time. But doing both of them together. So these two stones together were the same amount of time as just this one stone. And then see if I can jump to the 2,000. I think I can go right to 2,000 from it, but we'll see. I'm gonna go ahead and start. So I am going to just check to see what that's looking like so far. So there you can see the new 320 grit scratches. And just that, like 1 minute, not even, on 320, and all the old scratches are gone. And at this point we have 320 grit scratches on the whole blade. So there you can see it. And I will Alright guys, so there you saw the 320 grit scratch marks. At this point I'm good with 320. I think this was definitely worth doing, by the way. So I know, you know, to some people it probably seems like I screwed the stones up by doing this, but it makes sharpening the recurve a breeze. I might be able to set this thing up like this. Let's see. I don't want it to tip over, but that might work. Worst case, I'll just hold the stone, but let's see. Yeah, I think it's gonna work. Yeah. Let's see. Keep going. See if I can show you guys this bevel. There you can see after 2,000 grit, you know, we're holding a really consistent bevel. I'm really impressed with this. So far so good. I don't want to jinx it, which I'll probably end up like slicing my finger or something. Every once in a while I have a good idea. Now I can go back to putting the stone flat. I'm not doing it because I wanted to show you guys that it could be done with just, you know, like the 1/2 inch stone. But it could definitely be put, you know, this way, and I can sharpen probably about 60%, and then right when I get to the recurve here, you know, I could just turn it to the side part, but I figured it'd be easier just to show you guys, you know, the whole thing together, than, you know, doing it all on this one piece. And honestly, for newer guys, you could probably turn this like this and use it like a Spyderco sharp maker. You know, you just have to find the angle. But yeah, it could be done. I know that's how, I think, what's the channel I'm thinking of? Sharp Thinking. I'm pretty sure I think his name's Elliot. That's how he does it. He'll take a DMT 2x6, and I'm pretty sure he does like a Spyderco sharp maker strategy, where he'll just, like, you know, swipe the blade on the right angle. Another thing I wanted to say is thank you to Justin from Blue Collar Survival. That's pretty cool that you subscribe to my channel. I'm not sure if you heard about me from someone else, but I subscribe to you, I think, through Steve. Steve is probably who mentioned you the most. I think Banner 24/7 mentioned you a few times too, but that whole sales guy thing is awesome. I love that skit you do. Alright, that's the 2000 grit finished at this point. And now I'm going to go to the 5000 grit. I'll keep you guys updated to see if anything happens, like if there's any repercussions of me doing this, like if it if it starts cracking or something like that. I don't see why it would, but man, like I probably wouldn't advise, if you have like brand new stones, I wouldn't advise doing this. Like I've had these for quite a while, so even if something did happen, I wouldn't feel that bad because I've gotten a ton of use out of them. But obviously I don't want anything happening to them. I want them to still work, but I don't think anything would happen, but you never know. Okay, so now we'll go with the 5000. That's pretty much it for the 5000. See if I can get this in. Alright, then I'm just going to use the Kangaroo strop with, this is 1 micron diamond. Alright guys, I'll be right back. I'm just going to grab a piece of paper and do a quick cut test. There you can see. So there's like two little hang-ups. Now, if I was gonna like not videotape this and take my time doing it and like really concentrate, I would stay on the 5000 longer, and I'd use a coarser strop. Like I'd use probably a 5 micron and then 3 micron and then a 1 micron, or maybe just go like 3 micron and 1 micron. But it's a little bit of a jump, 5000 to basically like 16,000 or 15,000. It can be done, obviously. I just did it, but you know, a 3 micron would refine the edge a little bit better, and then go to the 1 micron. But you know, just to show you guys that it could be done. And this is a Kudo 440. This is the first new edge that I put on it after the factory, so you know, there's lots of factors, but I think we can definitely get it sharper. And at this point we're shaving hair, so yeah, you can see my pinky knuckle is now half bald. So if I did the paper cut test now that it's all crumpled and messed up, and even though it's crumpled, the cut line is much cleaner on the paper. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but, and I don't have the, you know, the other cut line to show you exactly. Well, actually here, it's right here, so you might be able to see it's more jagged there. So when you compare the two, just that like maybe 10 times that I strapped on this hard pressed felt with 1 micron, you know, it made a difference. But that's, you know, when I'm making a jump from the 5000 grit to the 1 micron, you know, it might just take a few more straps if I ended with, let's say, like an 8000 grit stone. But if I go from 5000 grit Sharpen Pro to 5 micron, 3 micron, then 1 micron, you know, we can get there a lot faster because we're shortening the gap. So if I go from 5000 grit to 3 micron, then 1 micron, I might only need to strap 10 times for the 3 micron and 1 micron. If I go right from 5000 grit to 1 micron diamond strap, I might need to strap 30 times to get the same desired effect. So that's kind of what, you know, what I'm getting at. Like you can make the jump, but if you do it in smaller steps, you might get a better edge. But it all depends like what you're looking for, because some guys like to make the jump from you know, like 3000 or 2000 to the 1 micron, so that they leave that toothiness there. But you have to be a good sharpener you can't rely on your strap to make up the difference. Yeah, so that's gonna do it for this video. I just wanted to show you guys how I do the recurve. Again, it's not a knife that I do often, and because this stone broke yesterday when I chipped it on the sink, and I had that thought, I figured I would take you guys along to see it too. So yeah, if you got something out of the video, please leave a thumbs up. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments, or email me about it, iheartknives@yahoo.com. Thank you all for watching. Thank you to all my subscribers and all my regular watchers, or viewers rather. Yeah, so recurves aren't so bad when you have the right tools. It's all about having the right tools. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this video. This is Mike with iHeartKnives. I'll catch you on the next one. Later.